So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And my name is Husna Nisah Khairani. And in this video, I would like to explain expanding sequences in conversation analysis. This is a project. This is an assignment actually for conversation analysis class. And so the first one, we need to know what are expanding sequences. It basically a basic sequence usually consists of first pair part and also second pair part. It how we expand these things because they come in adjacency pair as we have talked before in the class. The first pair part will actually lead to second pair part. For example, do you want a coffee? And then the counterpart will answer yes. But however, this conversation can become longer through sequence expansions. And it is actually add to the instructional work before or after the main sequence. I would like to say that this expanding sequences, it adds to the conversation, whether when the speakers, one of the speakers or the counter speakers have something to add, they want to clarify something or add something, and it becomes longer. It will be it will expand the sequences that we have because in the original, not in the original, in the basic form, we only have like first pair part and also second pair part. Okay, next. Types of expanding sequencers. So according to the material by Liddy Code, there are three main types. The first one is pre-expansion, and then insert expansion, then post-expansion. Pre-expansion is actually the one that come before the main sequence, and insert expansion, it happens between the FPP and also the SPP, and post expansion it is after the main sequence. This expansion helps speakers to avoid misunderstanding, so they clarify it. It can happen in the beginning, in the middle, or after that sequence or after the conversation. And then prepare recipients. So it is only in pre-expansion. It prepare the recipients to what will come from the speakers. So whether it will be a request, a demand, or this information, the recipients can get prepared because of the pre-expansion. And then it also helps speakers to gather information. It also mainly happen in pre-expansions. So when speakers thinking to like asking something, making a request or demand or offer, they need to gather information first, like whether this person or the recipient are able to help them, have the ability to help them, and available to help them. So they can gather information first. And it can also happen during the expansion during the sequence, like the main sequence between the FPP and SPP, if the speakers or the counter speaker also they need more information about what happens, what is going on in the conversation, they can expand the sequences. And it also can help speakers to close the conversation smoothly. Yeah, as in the pause expansions. We of course, when we have a conversation, we want to close it as smooth as possible, as clear as possible, so there's no misunderstanding, there's no ambiguity, and the goal of our communication or of our conversation is achieved. Next is the pre-expansion. As I have mentioned before, it happens before the main sequence. It functions as preparation for the next action. Yeah, it can happen in form of some kind of chit chat. Yeah, it often used before like invitation, request, offers, or telling. Like we have pre-invitation, pre-request, pre-offer, or pre-tellings. Pre-invitation is like when you want to invite someone, but you want to test the water, you want to check their availability mainly for this one. So you ask something before the main question, before the main sequence, that before you invite them, actually you ask their availability, for examples. And for requests, you mainly check their ability, check their availability, and whether they want to do it or not, based on their reaction, based on whether it is this prefer or prefer as P or an answer. It is about requests and also for offers and tellings it happened the same way. It's like how you test the water, how you want to check the response, the ability, the availability of the counter speakers or the recipients. It can happen in a long one or a shorter one. Like it can happen multiple ways or in multiple sequences, like pre-sequence in multiple pre-sequences. Like there's more chit chat. So, for example, you're asking for something big, so you make sure it several times whether it is okay for the recipients to for you to ask about it or not. And for example, I have here pre-invitation. This is one type of the pre-expansion. Like A says, "Are you busy tonight?" And then B replied with, "Not really." Then A can get to the main question, like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" So the main things in this conversation is actually how A wants to ask B to watch a movie with him or her, with A. So before that, A wants to check the availability of B. So he says something like, "Are you busy tonight?" And B gives like a preferred answer, like not really. So A can continue to the question, like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" This is one kind of pre-invitation, but it can happen in many ways. For example, if B responds in this preferred way, like, "Are you busy tonight?" Then B says like, "Yeah, I have a lot on my plate. Yeah, I plan to do this, and that." Or, "Yeah, I have uh an appointment with blah 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 blah." And then A will likely to not continue his the main question, like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" Uh, because after this preferred answer, A won't continue this question. It might close the whole conversation, like, "Oh, okay, have fun." Yeah, that what happens if it is like in this preferred way. But also we have hedging, like this is the third case, like if B responds with hedging, like A says, "Are you busy tonight?" And B responds with, "Why?" And then A need to explain about his intention, like, "Yeah, if you're not busy, I plan to watch a movie together with you." So it's not like a direct invitation, but rather A would give information because of the hedging that has done by B. So he need to give more information so B would convince. But the results may vary also. Maybe B would accept or decline it, reject it. That's about pre-expansion. And then we move next to insert expansion. It happens between the FPP and SPP, so it in the middle of the main sequence. It delays the response temporarily, like it mainly because of one of the speakers wants to clarify something and wants to gather more information. It usually used to, like, yeah, as I have said before, ask for clarification, repair misunderstanding, or gather information. It has a lot of type to, like, pause first insert expansion, like here, or second first set post second insert expansion. It depends on where the expansions are after the FPP. Post first insert expansion means that the insert expansion happened after the FPP directly. Like the FPP is here by A, like, "Can you lend me your notes?" And instead of answering directly, B like, "Yeah, you can," or "You cannot," B question more question to A, like he's not answering, but instead ask question, like, "For which class?" So it like, yeah, it in expand the sequence, like B needs more information, so she or he can decide whether to lend his notes to A or not. Like, yeah, "For which class?" "Syntax class." "Sure." So it is a positive one, right? Yeah. And this one can also happen in this preferred way, like, can you lend me your notes for which class? Syntax class. I'm not sure because I also have class for blah 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 blah. So it can happen in many ways, but I put like the positive one in here. And next, here we have pose expansion. It happens after the sequence is completed, and it used to close or extend conversation. It is like, it express whether it is acceptance, assuring as understanding instead of understanding, or yeah, acceptance, agreement, or even to check whether our recipients or our counter speakers clearly understood what we said before. The common expression as like, oh, okay, all right. It happens as the closing, as the pause expansion of the sequence of the post sequence. Like, for example, I have here the meeting starts at 9. Okay, so the B's answer by saying okay is actually a response, a post expansion to like showing understanding, showing that okay, I get the information. And this can happen in many ways, like to ease it also to ease the vibe. Like if it is too tense, then you can, oh, okay, all right, I get it. But these are the common expression that in usually used in pause expansion. So I think that's all for my presentation. I have completed the material, and I hope it will get. I My point is, uh, I can I hope I can get my point to you, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mm.